Hi, Democrats. Today is Thursday, May 18th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Thursday. So I need to update folks on several things that are happening kind of all over the state. I was part of a group of folks who were planning a visit from Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr., who was planning to come to Oklahoma and speak out on the events in McCurtain County. The Reverend's health kind of took a turn, and his physician and his family decided that it wasn't safe for him to travel to Oklahoma at this time. We are working to reschedule that, but for folks who've seen that, I want to make sure that I get this spread far and wide that the Reverend will not be here tomorrow, but we will reschedule it, and I'll let you know how that goes. So I want to get that out of the way. I've been on the phone all day today. All day I've been on the phone, either helping plan for convention, helping sell tickets for convention, making sure that we have a full house, or taking in calls from people all over the state. And today is one of those weird days where I've gotten three calls about Ryan Walters from all over the state. People wanting to talk to me about Ryan Walters. I don't want to talk about Ryan Walters, but I will. So it is clear that the superintendent of public instruction is in over his head. The superintendent of public instruction would rather continue to campaign than actually do the job he was elected to do. To run a school system, a statewide school system, a district-wide school system, a citywide school system, takes money. And there are all these mechanisms to get money. It's not just the tax dollars. It's not just the money that we get from the lottery, but it's also all different kinds of grants. And so there was someone who left the Department of Education recently. I'm going to call them a whistleblower because they've come out and said basically that Ryan Walters, the superintendent of public instruction, I don't know this for a fact because I wasn't there, but it bears mentioning, has not applied for any grants to help pay for public schools. Now, if that is true, one has to wonder, is it incompetence or is it deliberate to crater, crash, or insist that public schools fail? Those are the two choices. Either you're deliberately trying to make public schools fail, and there's evidence that shows that feels like it's his agenda, or he doesn't know how to do it, and he doesn't know how to allow his staff to do it. And frankly, there's evidence that proves that could also be a possibility. Neither one of them bodes well for public schools in Oklahoma. We must demand that the superintendent of public instruction, A, do the job he was elected to do, and B, be transparent about it so that everybody can see what's going on, and C, stop with the division. He posts all the time about divisive topics, but he doesn't post about what grants he's applied for. He doesn't post about how he intends to fund public schools. And I have to remind you, he is the superintendent of public instruction. And all he ever talks about are vouchers and divisive topics. If his job were to make sure that we had vouchers, if he were the superintendent of ensuring the governor gets his voucher scheme, then I don't know that I would question it because it feels like that's the job he's doing. But the job he ran for and the job he was elected for is superintendent of public instruction. So join me. I have time tomorrow. All I'm going to do tomorrow is be on the phone. I will take some time to call his office and demand politely, demand that he do his job and make sure that public schools get funded in Oklahoma. Tons of calls. People are all up in arms. What are we going to do? Can we pay teachers? Our school's going to stay open? Our schools in small communities going to stay open? We have no answers because he's not talking. We have no answers because he's still campaigning. We must demand answers because the job he has is superintendent of public instruction. This week I read that he was complaining about, that number is missing a number, complaining about the last superintendent of public instruction and what she did and did not do. Sir, it's your job. You have to do it now. Complaining about the last person doesn't fix what's happening now. So instead of trying to figure out how to divide us by fighting with the alphabet, by looking for boogeyman behind every acronym, just do the job. And it would do him well if he took on the words of the president of Class and SAS, who ended his commencement speech with, the letters DEI are not bad words. They are who we are. Let's hope that somehow, accidentally, or on purpose, that Ryan Walters gets that. Okay, so that was my message for today, but I want to also come back and remind people that we are looking for volunteers for our convention committees, rules, constitution, bylaw, arrangements. We are looking for folks to help us plan convention in the last stretch, make sure that we get through, and it's the most successful convention we've ever had. Go out to okdemocrats.org, sign up for a committee, and see how you can help us with these and help us get through this final stretch. And if you haven't bought your tickets to the Carl Albert Gala, where we'll be honoring Oklahomans who've done great things, and we'll also be listening to keynote speaker Beto O'Rourke from Texas, it's not too late. You can still go out to okdemocrats.org and buy a ticket, buy a table, and come and join us on June 3rd. Join us on June 3rd for the Carl Albert Gala, and stay over and attend the business portion of convention on June 4th. We have a lot of stuff lined up. We have an author coming to town and doing a soft book launch on the Friday before. And what a soft book launch is the book is written, but it's not available in stores yet. We have David Pepper, who wrote The Laboratories of Autocracy. He has chosen Oklahoma to roll out a soft launch of his newest book on what it takes to do grassroots organizing in a red state. You don't want to miss that. We'll be publishing information on that tomorrow on our website, but that's going to be Friday night at Fulton Street Books. Saturday during the day, we're having breakout sessions for all the different constituency groups, and we have wonderful speakers coming from all over the nation. And then Saturday evening, we're having the Carl Albert Gala featuring Beto O'Rourke. And then Sunday, when we do the business of updating our documents and electing our leaders, our keynote speaker is Ken Martin from the Minnesota DFL. It's going to be great. I hope you join us. But before then, I'll see you tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great evening.